Welcome back, everyone. It's John, Wade Boggs fan. Well, we have lost yet another Hall of Famer. Um, Don Sutton has passed away. I believe it was yesterday. I think he was 75 years old. Um, 300 game winner, 324 maybe, but 300 game winner. Yep, we lost another one. In fact, earlier yesterday, I was bidding on a 1980 Topps card of Don Sutton. I think it was a PSA 9, I think. Ended up losing out on that card, and then a couple hours later over my phone, I saw that Don had passed away, which leads me into the topic of today's video and my growing frustration with my vintage collection. Um, I started off with my vintage collection focusing on 1978, 79 cards. 78's one of my all-time favorite sets, so I started with that. Gotten into some 1980s as well, but for the 78s and 79s, for the most part, I have the bigger Hall of Famers. And so now it's just filling in some of the lesser popular Hall of Famers or leaders cards or things of that nature. 1980, I have some of the higher valued cards, not all of them, so I'm getting there. Still working on 77s, and I've decided to broaden my year range that I'm looking at. But I'm getting a bit frustrated. I find some cards that I'm interested in going after, and I've been basing what I want to or feel comfortable bidding on cards. I've been using PSA's feature. Their app has a sort of like an auction history, and I think it's fairly updated. With it may be a day or two old with auction prices, but I've been using that as a guide. I think it's a fairly good guide. It's basically showing what cards have sold in various auctions, most of them on eBay. And it just seems that either one, for cards that come up in auction, they're going for higher than the previous one sold. There have been multiple cards where I put in what I feel is a fair price and I lose out. I'll see another one, I'll bump my price up a little bit more, I still get outbid. The next one that I see, I'll put in a slightly higher bid, I still get outbid. I mean, it almost seems like for some of the cards I'm looking at, and they're not these high end $200, $300, $400 cards. They're cards that if you look back even over the last month or two, may have sold for 20, 25 bucks, and now they're going for 30, 32, 33 bucks. It almost seems like every new auction sells for a higher price than the previous auction. It just, every single one. It may only be $1 or $2 or whatever, but it just, and I keep losing out on some of these cards, and some of them, there was another one, now the Don Sutton one, for example, sold for $3 or $4 more than what I thought was the going rate for that card. Other ones have gone 10, 15, $20 above what the previous ones have sold for. And then you look at the buy it now ones, and it seems like every seller, no one puts the cards up there for buy it now anywhere close to what the average sales prices are going for. They want 20, 30, 50% more. I mean, I've seen some outrageous buy it now prices based on actual data of what cards have sold for. And so for even cards that I'm looking at that may have sold recently for, say, 60 bucks, the cheapest buy it now is like 100. I'm like, I'm not going to pay $100 for that card. And, you know, I've even started checking out and I've bought a couple vintage cards from like Four Shop Corners, and I know their inventory changes and stuff. And just the other day, I started looking through, and yeah, they currently they seem to have a ton of autographed um cards. Cards that I want would like to have the regular card. I don't want the autograph version and pay more for it. That's just not what I'm collecting. So I haven't really found anything in Four Short Corners. I don't really live close to any card shows. So I can't go there and hopefully try to, strike a bargain or this. And it's just getting a bit frustrating. And again, I'm trying to widen my scope, trying to look for various cards. I eventually want to get for each year all the Hall of Famers for that set. And again, that's a big goal. It's a long-term goal. And I mean, I'm finding myself saying like, okay, well, I can't go after that card. That card's going too high. That card's going too high. And I'm like, okay, well, let me look at the next tier of Hall of Famers. And I would say there's like 3 tiers. You got the superstars, you got the middle range Hall of Fame stars, then you got the lesser Hall of Famers. I guess that's fair to say, maybe about 3 tiers. That upper tier, it's just I can't. The prices are just going constantly, going higher and higher and higher, and even the middle range is difficult. So I'm like, okay, well, let me. And I'm starting to lose a little bit interest in wanting to have to, again, no offense to some of these players, but like a Tony Oliva or Phil Necro, I'm not passionate about going after those cards. Those would be ones that, yeah, to complete a year, yeah, I want to get those Hall of Famers, but they really don't do anything for me. So do I really want to spend my money? Yeah, hey, I picked up such and such year Phil Necro. Okay, I have a Hall of Famer, but I just don't feel excited about it. And I want to be excited about some of the purchases that I make. So I don't know. At first, when I started off, it was okay, let me try to find some reasonably priced cards looking in that $20 to $30 range. And now I'm saying, okay, well, let me hold back. Let me wait and see if I can go after maybe these $50, $60, $70 cards. And they're just going way above that. And I just can't seem to find cards out there on eBay that I feel comfortable with the price that I would want to pay for it. And it's probably just me. It's self-inflicted maybe. But I'm starting to get frustrated, and I shouldn't get frustrated because this is something that I want to do. And again, when I pick up some of those cards, I feel excited to have them in my collection. But at the same time, is it going to be one of those cases where, I continue my Boggs collection, and even for fairly decent cards, I'm only able to pick up like 10 a year? I don't know. I just need to maybe take a step back, just take a look at what's out there, be extremely patient. That may be another problem I have. Again, I have limited funds. So with the limited funds I have, I need to find stuff out there. And I'm not going for super high end. I would like decent grade cards. Because at the same time, I don't want to say, well, I have this one card from, 1976, but in order to find a decent deal, I picked up a 4. It may look okay, but I don't know. There's a lot of things going on up here that I just got to work out. I don't know if any of you or that buy vintage graded are finding the same things. Hopefully you're finding some deals out there. Maybe some of you have a little bit deeper pockets than I do, but yeah, just starting to get a little frustrated. I mean, I'm not hoping or wishing that prices start going down, because that's not going to happen. But at least at some point, can it just maybe start leveling off or something? It's just, you look at the, again, on that, going very quickly here, getting back to the PSA app that I use, you look at the historical prices for a given grade, and if you scroll down enough, they show the chart. And going back 5-6 years, it's maybe, for most of these vintage cards, it's pretty flat, maybe going up slightly. And again, over the last year and a half, just every chart just starts just shooting up. And every once in a while, you see one that, hey, someone got a good bargain on, and someone probably happened to look at eBay at the time, and it was probably buy it now, and gobbled it up quick before anyone else found it. And then there's some of these, you get these huge spikes of cards that you like, why would, when all the other cards are going for a certain level, they paid, 30-40% more. And so you see these big spikes, and then you see the spikes, and then the people selling the cards that buy now go, hey, that card sold for, $120 when all the other ones were selling for $80. So I'm going to list mine for $130, buy it now. And it's just getting frustrated. But anyway, I have some cards I got in the mail over the last, it's probably been a week now with all the other different videos I've been doing. So I have a decent number to show off. Some vintage I was able to pick up, and some pretty nice Wade Boggs cards, some low serial number cards that I was very fortunate enough to pick up. So I'm done with my little rant. Hopefully some of you can sympathize. If any of you have any advice, please, I welcome it. There's some veterans out there that have been doing this for a long time. Leave me a comment, shoot me an email, what have you. It's just, I know it'll get better at some point, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. I keep telling myself that. But gosh darn it, it's just getting, for someone that has a limited budget, it's really, really difficult, because there's so many great cards out there that I'd like to own, but you can't have them all. But anyway, let me turn the camera around and let's take a look at some of the cards that I recently picked up. All right, as I'm prone to usually do, I will show off my Wade Boggs pickups first. This first one here, it was a combination. There were two cards and a buy it now. The first one is from 2020 Immaculate Collection, the triple jersey patch. It's out of 25. That's typically there, the beading going down, probably one of his pants or something, but it's the triples. So pretty basic back there, but this really wasn't, although I didn't have this card, but this wasn't really why I jumped on the buy it now, because the listing also included this 2020 Donruss Optic Retro 1986 Signatures Pandora Red. Just look at that shine, and that, just all the multicolors, and how those little cubes it's just, wow. I can stare at that for a long, long time. It's a sticker auto, but you know what? It's very well done with that white background there. They did a good job of putting the sticker on, and again, there's no B on the helmet and all that stuff. But thing that I really couldn't pass up was it is serial numbered 3 out of 5. So it's not too often these days that I'm able to pick up such a low serial number card. With that said, though, the next card that I picked up is from 2018 Leaf Originals Metal, and it is the green. Now, I've been trying to go after the non one of one rainbow. There are two one of ones. There's a gold and then a superfractor. But I was missing two cards in the rainbow, this green one and the red out of 3, but this green one is also out of 5, another 3 out of 5. And fortunately, a fellow Boggs collector knew that I was trying to go after this rainbow and was missing the green and red. We both saw that the green came up. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, is this one of the ones that you need?" And I said, "Yeah. I'd really like to go after it." And he goes, "Okay." He says, "I'll back off." Now, I believe he has the entire rainbow. He has both one of ones. I'm pretty sure. Um, so it was just going to be another copy that he was going to go after because that's what he does sometimes, which is fine. So he did back off because usually we butt heads in a friendly way, and he usually outbids me. But he decided to back off, so I got this for a lot less than what my maximum bid, because I really wanted this card. Got it for a lot less, so I want to thank him for that. And here are what the other cards in the rainbow look like. Again, that's the green. Here is the base. This is the black, the blue, orange, pink, and purple. So I now have the green to go along with it. I just love the design. I think it's the 48 leaf design. But here is my near complete non-one of one rainbow. Just need to find that red out of 3, and that may be impossible to find. I have a feeling, well, I know the one Boggs collector already has one of the copies, so there's only 2 of them left out there, and I have a feeling the other 2 are in probably collections as well. So this may be as far as I can go with this rainbow, but still pretty decent completion of that. All right, then the last Boggs card that I picked up is from 2020. I believe it's from online. I think they did a mini version of the set. This is the 1985 anniversary card. And they also have, the base set and things like that, different parallels. So, but this is just the base mini. All right, for the vintage cards, I picked up my second 1978. And again, this was like the probably second or third time I tried to go after this card and finally got one. It's a Near Mint 7 of Carlton Fisk. Left to right, really well, pretty well centered, top to bottom. But I'm okay with that. It's a 7 again. It's not gonna be perfect. But it suited my eye appeal. The other thing, I don't want to bring this whole thing up, but to me, centering, I'm okay with this much off centering, but other cards I see out there for 7s, even 8s, are so off center. I can't. It just bothers me. I can't pull the trigger on those cards because of the centering. The back's pretty good as well. So there's a nice. So I think I had the 76, 77. No, I don't have the 70. I have the 76, 78, 79, and maybe the 80 of Carlton Fisk. So starting a good run with Carlton Fisk there. I'll just put that there. The next one, which I just got today, is a 1980 Topps Dave Winfield. Again, another one that I've been looking at for 2-3 months. It seems like one would either come up, go for way more than what I'm willing to go for, or the 8s are just extremely off center. The big diamond cuts or whatever, but this is pretty well centered, and so is the back. So I was very happy to finally get this one again. Am I a big Dave Winfield fan? No. Does it check off a box of my checklist? Yes. Am I super stoked to add this to my collection? Yeah, maybe not so much, but it goes against my Hall of Fame collection. So And then the last one again is probably, if you want to think the Fisk and the Winfield, in my opinion, still maybe mid tierish Hall of Famers. Great, they're all great players, but not in that upper level. And here's one that maybe would be in that third tier. I don't know. Again, great pitcher, Gaylord Perry, but just not on everyone's hot list of cards. Here's another 8 again. Was looking at this one for a while, and even in this 8, the prices were going up and up, and I found this one for a price I was willing to pay. Centering's good on the back, so those were my vintage pickups. So, all right, let's finish this long video off, and for those that are still following, I really appreciate it. Let's get to the trivia, because I know a lot of you like trying to answer those trivia questions. The trivia question from the last video, or the last video I had the trivia question. Like I said, I had a couple of videos in between there that I didn't do the trivia. The question was, who was the last Mets shortstop to win a Gold Glove award? And after my, the few hints that I gave, I think a lot of you picked it up, and the answer is Ray Ordonez. Yep, he won 3 Gold Glove awards in a row from 1997 to 1999. So it has been 20, this would be 20, technically 22 years if no one wins a Gold Glove award. But Francisco Lindor, I guess, could have a decent shot. If he plays well for the Mets, could maybe break that drought of a Mets shortstop not getting a Gold Glove award. So we'll see. But yeah, Ray was a decent fielder, but just didn't have much at the plate, unfortunately. But all right, here is the new question, and it is: there has only been one inside the park home run in All-Star game history. Who hit it? And I'll give you a hint. He was named the MVP for that All-Star game. So, who hit the only inside the park home run in All-Star game history? Answer in my next video. That's all I have for you guys. Again, I really do appreciate you watching my videos, taking the time to do that, and commenting. All great stuff. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.